Hello students, how many times has this happened with you? You talked to one of your seniors who got a good result, or you saw a motivational video, or you saw an interview, you watched an interview on YouTube, and suddenly your enthusiasm levels increases. Suddenly you feel pumped up, and what do? You sit down, you think about how much course is left, and you come up with a timetable. The timetable is very elaborate, it's very beautiful, very descriptive, very hard, and after making the timetable you try to follow it. You cannot follow it even for a single day. You get frustrated, you get disappointed with yourself. In the next 2 days you forget about any timetable that you made and you go back to your default state. Has it happened to you? The answer is probably yes. It has happened to almost all of us. Timetables, planners, they are extremely important. Why? They bring a discipline to your preparation, and if your preparation becomes disciplined, the chances of you getting a good result also increases exponentially. But making a timetable is an art. We have to follow certain principles, only then our timetables would be successful, and in this video I would be talking about those principles only. So Cerebellum's Academy is Decoded, where we talk about the strategies, the plans, what you can do, the practical things that can the practical steps that can be taken to improve your productivity, your efficiency, which in fact will finally result in a good rank. So let's talk about it. So a timetable that you can actually follow, a timetable that will actually work. As I said, one of the biggest problems with the timetables is we make them when we are very enthusiastic, when we are in a state of enthusiasm, when we are thinking that now we will change everything. And when we are too enthusiastic, when we are too optimistic, our judgment becomes slightly wrong. We tend to overestimate our capabilities and we end up creating a timetable which is too difficult. And that is why our timetables don't work. We have to make a timetable with a logical mind, with a rational mind, keeping in mind our strengths and limitations. So do not make the timetable when you are too excited. Settle down, get calmer, get cooler, then make a timetable. Second thing, say today you studied for 1 hour in the entire day. Yesterday also you were struggling with the studies, you could not clock more than 1 hour. For the 5, 6, 7 days or for a couple of weeks or months you have been studying maximum 1 to 2 hours. And now you make a timetable where you have given yourself a task that from today I will start reading or studying 8 hours. Are you likely to follow it? The answer is a big no. Big bang changes do not work. What works is small changes. Little changes, small changes every day. When they accumulate, the cumulative effect turns out to be something big. But if you want your brain, your mind to suddenly change the gear from first gear to fifth gear, not going to happen. And another problem is if you give yourself unrealistic goals, you are not able to follow them, you fail in following them, you are disappointed, and then you stop everything altogether. So we have to make small changes. While making a timetable, in fact, while trying to get into any new habit, our first aim should be the first 3 days. We have to ensure that we are able to follow it for the first 72 hours. Once we have done that, the second step becomes slightly easier, comparatively easier. So when we make a timetable, we have to ensure that we are making it in such a way that at least in the first 3-4 days we are able to follow it, because the second step then becomes easier. Now keeping this thing in mind, let's talk about the number of hours. As I said, if you have been studying for 1 to 2 hours a day, the maximum number of hours that you should put for yourself or that you should try to achieve should be 4 hours. Not more than 4 hours. On the other hand, if you have been studying for say 4 to 5 hours, 4 to 6 hours per day, then try to make a timetable for at max 7 to 8 hours. If you have been studying for 7 to 8 hours, then try for 10 to 12 hours, right? A substantial change, but a change that is possible. Don't go for impossible changes. As I said in the last slide, that if you are trying to have a big bang change, it's not going to work. You are going to end up in disappointment. More importantly, say you are here struggling to study even 1 to 2 hours. and then you make a timetable for 4 hours and it's very strict. You tell yourself from 11 in the morning till 12 in the afternoon, from 3 in the afternoon till 4 in the afternoon, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and at night 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. You give yourself these 4 slots and then you expect yourself to follow it. Again, the chances of failures are higher. When you are making a timetable, go session wise. If you have to study for 4 hours, a better way is you divide your day into morning session, afternoon session, evening session and night session. Say 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 8 and 8 to again 12. And then give yourself a target that I am going to study for 1 hour in the morning session, 1 hour in the afternoon session, 1 hour in the evening session and 1 hour in the night session. What is the benefit? By keeping it slightly flexible, you decrease your chances of failure. Say instead of getting up at 9 o'clock, you woke up at 10 o'clock. Still you have got 2 hours to clock that 1 hour. Say something happened, you ended up wasting time in the evening. You realize at 5:30 that you have not studied. Still you have got 2.5 hours to bring back to get yourself back to the schedule. So when you give yourself some flexibility, it basically helps you in sticking to the schedule. Instead, if you were very rigid about it, then the chances of failures are higher. Now, another important thing is, as I said, it's difficult to start. That is the reason what you plan for the first session is extremely important, right? So say you did the morning session, afternoon session, evening session and night session thing. Now in the morning session, the 1 hour that you have kept for yourself, plan to study something which you like the most. Say you like psychiatry a lot. So in the first hour in the morning, you will study for 1 hour one of the chapters of psychiatry. It does not have to be 1 hour, it can also be 45 minutes. Some students are more comfortable with longer sessions, others do better with the shorter sessions. Whatever floats your boat, whatever suits you better, follow it. Coming back to the first one, so you like psychiatry, start with psychiatry. Say when you start the day, you are not so much in the mood to study and you find it better or easier to do MCQs, multiple choice questions. In that case, you can actually start with MCQs. Rather than studying any subject, you can start with the MCQs. In some cases, when you are struggling very badly, when you are just not able to get into that rhythm, you might actually start your first session with reading of some motivational book. Maybe you can read some motivational book for 20 minutes and then get into that frame of mind, that zone, that rhythm. So see, you have to do all these things. You have to, I should not say trick your mind, but you have to, do something to get your mind into that rhythm. For studies, rhythm is very important. You must have experienced it yourself. When you are in the rhythm, it's easier to study for longer hours. Your efficiency is better, your productivity is better. And when you are not in the rhythm, it's difficult to concentrate. And this good rhythm and bad rhythm happens to everybody. It is like the form of cricketers, right? It keeps on fluctuating. Even great people like Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli went through lean patches where their form was not so good. But we have to do everything to ensure that we are getting into that rhythm. As I said, keep your schedule as easy as possible, right? So just to summarize, if you are struggling a lot, keep the number of hours slightly more than what you have been clocking till now, and rather than having rigid time hours, have the sessions. Alright, so this is the meaning of as easy as possible. This is something that we are doing to ensure that for the first 72 hours, we are able to follow the timetable. This is extremely important. Very important, all or none. This is a flaw in our thinking. A lot of people have this flaw. So say you made a timetable, you watched this video, you followed the principle, you made a timetable and you decided that you will study for 4 hours, but you could not, you ended up studying only for 2.5 hours. And then you tell yourself in the night that you could not follow the timetable. And then you say that what a failure I am. Then you tell yourself, I would never be able to get selected. I'm so lazy. You say all these bad things to yourself. What is the outcome, final outcome? Your desire to study goes down. You got motivated the last day by something, but now you are back in that state of frustration where you are not studying and not being able to enjoy either. So your 2.5 hours was not a failure. Rather than that, I would say it was a partial success. You went from 1 hour to 2.5 hours. You could not reach 4 hours, that is okay, but still let's not call it a failure. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Do not criticize yourself unnecessarily. See, you are the one who has to become the support of yours. The external world is not going to come to your rescue. Your friends the friends may talk to you for a couple of minutes or couple of hours. Your family members may give you support for some time, but finally you have to become your support. And you do not become your support by unnecessarily criticizing yourself. If you went from 1 to 2.5 hours, it is partial success. Let us now think how can we take it to 4 hours, rather than saying that I am a failure and I would not be able to do it. So no all or none phenomena. Second thing, you made a timetable, you were very enthusiastic, you ended up making a very difficult timetable, you could not follow it. Let us say that your version 1 of timetable did not work out as well. It does not mean that you will throw the concept of timetable out of the window. All it means that we need a version 2. Version 2 should be more practical, more rational, more logical, cut down on the number of hours, introduce the concept of sessions. Probably you were able to follow the version 2 to a better extent. Now you want it to become even better, go with version 3. So basically what I am trying to say, keep on changing the versions, keep on refining your plan. Try to make a plan that you are able to follow. Again, this is something very closely related to all or none phenomena. Just because you could not complete something does not mean that you would not do it at all. It means that you have to find a better or refined version. This is extremely important. Do not do all these things only in your mind. You need feedback. It is extremely important that you see those things. Put a big chart paper and paste it on the wall, or bring a whiteboard and start writing on it, right? Every day you should be able to see what all were you able to accomplish and what you could not, so that you could do it better next day. If you just keep it in your mind, if it is not in your eyes, you would never get any kind of pressure. When that chart paper is in front of you, when that whiteboard is in front of you, you would by mistake look at it, and then your mind will start creating pressure that I have to follow it. So feedback is extremely important. You cannot improve something that you do not measure. I'll repeat myself. You cannot improve anything that you are not measuring. If you want to improve yourself, you will have to measure. Even till today, I don't have an entrance examination to pass, but still I keep a track of my productive hours. I write it down so that I know what am I doing, so that I can improve. And it is even more important for you. Feedback right in front of you. Now 72 hours are gone. Now you can follow the timetables to some extent. Probably I have come up with a better version. Now gradually start making it tougher. If you are preparing for an entrance examination, you have to reach 10 to 12 hours a day. Many students do well with 8 to 10 hours also, but anything less than that is usually difficult unless you are very brainy. If you are very intelligent, a great memory, maybe you will be able to do better than in lesser time than this. But for most of us, average people, this is something that works better. Something like 10 hours is important, I believe. The art of making timetable also includes the art of taking optimal breaks. If you study for 1 hour, ensure that you are taking break for at least 30 minutes or 20 minutes, right? You need to ensure that you do not burn out. Taking breaks is not wastage of time. Taking breaks is equivalent to recharging yourself. You have to refuel. You know that you are medical students, you know that your brain requires lots and lots of calories, lots and lots of energy. You need to refuel yourself. And studying is very demanding cognitively. It is tough. So you have to ensure that you do not burn out. Breaks should be taken in the day and also every 7 days or every 10 days, depending upon how much time is left. You have to take a break. You have to take an entire day as off, so that your brain gets enough time to recharge. I cannot stress this more. Life is anyways tough. Preparation for an entrance examination is anyways tough. Saying bad stuff for yourself does not help. Don't criticize yourself unnecessarily. Be kind to yourself. Be sympathetic to yourself. Reason with yourself. I often say that talk to yourself the way you would talk to a child, or the way you will talk to your younger brother. Whenever you are in a problem, say your problem is you are not able to study properly. What do you tell yourself? The same thing that you would tell your younger brother had he come with the same problem. If your younger brother comes to you and says that I cannot study properly, what will you tell him? You are a loser. You just waste time. You cannot do anything. No, you would not say that. What will you say? It's okay. It happens. Take a break. Start with something easy. Start with MCQs. See a motivational video. Talk to a senior who has gotten selected. Talk to your friend. Go to library, study with somebody else. All these practical solutions that you know are available. You will suggest your brother to do that. Similarly, when you get stuck, tell yourself one of these things. The onus is on you to get started again. So students, I hope you would be able to follow these basic guidelines, and I'm sure they'll help you in making a good timetable. And as I said, the timetable is something that would get refined over a period of time. It would become better over a period of time, but the key is to get started. All the best, study hard. May God bless you all.